If you are standing next to somebody who's sitting next to someone who's standing, invite them to come on in and sit down. We're going to begin in just a few seconds. So let me just ask, are you full? That's awesome. Was it good food? Did you like the idea? All right, that's awesome. Hey, my name is Gary Parks. I am thrilled to welcome you. Those of you who don't know me, my name is Gary Parks. I am a volunteer and a longtime friend of PACS. I love PACS. I love what they do, and I believe you do too. Amen? Love what they do. I am thrilled to welcome you all here to the Rossi Farms. What a great venue for you to come out. Have you all petted the camel? That was quite an experience for me. The camel actually crossed its legs for me. A little curtsy. It was nice. I am thrilled for you to be here. Thank you for taking your time. And also those of you who are online. I want to give a special welcome to those of you who have given something that only you can give, and that is your time. Thank you for coming and spending just a few minutes to see what has been happening at the PACS organization in the last year and what may be the plans for the future. I'm thrilled to introduce to you Laura Pasco, who's the current executive director. Laura, come on up.
Thank you guys so much for coming. I will tell you, this is my first in-person event because COVID happened and we did not have an in-person event. So thank you guys for being here. It means a lot, and it's nice to be back and celebrating and figuring out what is going on at PACS and doing it together and doing it as part of our community. So thanks for being here.
And a lot of you have been long-term supporters of PACS. Thank you very much. I've never had to go down to a mic. That's pretty fun. A lot of you have been long-term supporters of PACS, and if you've been around any time at all, you have seen a face that has been literally the face of PACS for about 17 years. When you come there, it is the warm face if you had to interact at all, and that's Tim Zolbrecht, the Associate Director. I'm going to ask him to come on up and have our opening prayer.
Let's bow our heads for prayer. Father in heaven, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to be a part of this organization called PACS. And as we gather here, we feel so blessed with the sunshine that you provided today and good food to eat and good friends to spend time with. But Lord, the reason that PACS exists is because of people who don't have so many luxuries in life. And today I just want to lift up to you those people who come every day needing service. We think of refugees who have just left war-torn areas and areas of conflict and are looking to reestablish themselves. We think of senior citizens who have given the best years of their lives to serving others and are now needing somebody to take care of them. We think of those who don't have all of their what we would call mental function sometimes, where they're struggling in life with things that many of us have never had to face. And Lord, we just want to lift them up to you and remember that the reason that we are here is because we want to serve them well, just like you have chosen to serve us as humans well. And Lord, we just thank you for your love for us and for your compassion to us, and help us as we think about others to be able to share your love with them as well. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Tim. And I just would like, and I know it's beforehand, but this PACS team I've worked with for about the last couple of years pretty intensely. We've spent hundreds of hours together. And I'm telling you, with the venue and what they've done, Laura, is amazing. And with the videos they're going to see for the presentations, can we just give them a big hand, all of those people? Thank you.
And I have to say, it has been a group effort. Oh, can I not just project? All right, fair. It has been a group effort, and our team has worked so hard. So thank you for being here, and thank you for appreciating the effort. And when I look out, I see so many people that this would not have happened without them. So it's a great team.
So just a word, Laura, before we see the wonderful presentation about what's happened this year, give us a live word about what's happened this year to introduce the video.
Yeah. It has been a bit of a roller coaster, right? And for the last few years, we never knew what the next day would bring, what the next month would bring. And interestingly, this year, even though as it feels like things are calming down on the surface, our numbers show a different story. So I will let the video speak for itself, but this has been a full year for us, and it has taken all of the effort and the hours, and we are grateful to have you here to see what we've done. So here's our yearly report video.
Our mission to follow Christ's example in nourishing the mind, body, and spirit while fostering dignity among those we serve remains unchanged. But the world we're operating in, well, you've seen the news. Our clients work hard, often at multiple jobs, and still live paycheck to paycheck. So when food and gas prices go up, they can't just grin and bear it. They have to start deciding which essentials they will live without. Unfortunately, if you need gas to get to work, that means luxuries like new school clothes, dental care, and nutritious food get cut. That's where we come in. And thanks to our team of community partners, volunteers, and donors, we've been able to grow our services to meet the new demands. Here's an example of what I mean. In 2020, pandemic closures paralyzed entire industries in the service sector, forcing thousands to fall back on food pantries to feed their families. The food we distributed nearly doubled in 1 year, going from 1.2 million pounds in 2019 to 2.1 million pounds in 2020, smashing all previous records in 85 years. This year, even though lockdowns are no longer in effect, we're on pace to match those 2020 records, and the number of people who need help is climbing. At the beginning of this year, we were serving about 1,200 families a month, but that average has climbed to over 1,800, a 50% increase. Thankfully, we can keep up, thanks to our amazing community partners and donors like you. Every one of those families has received boxes full of nutritious, fresh, and delicious groceries. In fact, even though the Oregon Food Bank reports that the cost of food has risen 25% in the last year, we've kept our expenses the same thanks to an army of volunteers. So just $19 from you still provides over $125 worth of food to hungry families in Portland. The Gateway Grace Dental Clinic has reached its first full year of operation, and it has also ramped up the services provided as the year went along. We've now had the pleasure of serving over 200 patients, which might not sound as dramatic as the food pantry numbers, but think about what that means. Over 200 patients have received top quality dental care provided by volunteer dental professionals in a state-of-the-art clinic. And the goal is not to quickly stabilize an oral infection by extracting teeth like in an emergency clinic, but rather to save the patient's teeth over multiple appointments, promoting better overall health, which helps control and or lessen the risk associated with heart disease, diabetes, pregnancy, malnutrition, and other conditions. And all of that care, worth hundreds of dollars per visit, is provided to uninsured patients for a simple $25 per visit fee. Gateway Grace Dental Clinic now operates 2 to 3 days per week and has gained enough momentum that we're looking to hire a dental hygienist so that we can keep up with the number of patients. It's incredible, but don't just take my word for it. Listen to this.
Hi, I'm the street care coordinator at Portland Street Medicine. I've had the best experience ever working with your dental clinic, and in particular, Carol James, who's the clinic manager. She's amazing. Well, I don't know, I've been doing like this kind of street outreach work, helping people get to resources for like 15 years, and in that time, I haven't really ever had an experience like this, like I had at your dental clinic. And I brought a person in who was like a lot of trauma around dental experiences in the past. She's helped us so much, and she's also really shifted the way that the person I'm working with feels about accessing medical care. So I guess I just want to say thank you for what you do. Carol's phenomenal, and whatever you do to keep her, like you keep sending people over there.
None of this would be possible without your donations, our community partnerships, the hundreds of volunteers who work at PACS every year, our loyal store shoppers, and many others. Thanks to you, we can be here for people on their worst days and remind them that they're not alone. Together, we really can make the world a little better and foster dignity among those we serve.
I think that is so amazing, but those numbers went by way too fast, so I'm going to ask them if they'd throw them back up so we can look at them again. I mean, just take a look at some of these numbers. 1,200 families, and by the way, that's a month. That went by fast, but 1,200 families a month. And I'm told, by the way, that 1,200 families that they're helping every month has nothing to do with the thrift store. That's just people that they're helping with food. And then this year, 1,800 families a month. Say a word about that, Laura. Tell me about that.
I got the pleasure, and my back is maybe still hurting a little bit, but no, not really. I got the pleasure of getting to load the boxes into the cars a couple weeks ago. And I will tell you, those numbers, that is what we are seeing. Back in January, it had leveled out to closer to what had been average for our years coming up. And by October of this year, that is a 50% increase, that we are up to 1,800 families coming through in the month. I think this is the month of September. And that is, we are doing that with the same staff. Thankfully, not quite with the same volunteers. We are getting better volunteer volume coming through, because otherwise it is the same team that is serving that number. And so we are so grateful for the Army that serves with us.
You know, that is amazing, but I got to say something, and I'm sure I'm going to quote Tim if I can. I talked to Tim, and he's been with, I think, 5 executive directors, seven. And he said every executive director at PACS has brought something to the table. But one thing that Laura has brought to this table, and I really respect that, is she wants to create a culture at PACS for not only the folks who come in, but actually for the folks who work there, so that when the people who even work there go home, they're better at home because they've been at work. And that's not an easy task, as you ever tried that. And so I've wanted to just ask Laura, give me a word about what drives that for you as an executive director.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time at work, right? And so what is a gift that our job can give back to our families is if we come back better equipped with tools to interact with each other, to figure out how to do conflict in healthier ways. And I was listening to a podcast from one of my favorite authors, shameless shout out to Heather Thompson Day. And I was just listening to that, and she talked about salt and light as something that Christians are repeatedly referred to. And what does that really mean? And to me, as I was listening to that podcast and thinking about PACS, what I hope as a faith-based organization, I hope what our posture in the community is that we are salt. What does that mean? Do we, any of us love salt? Like, do we go to a meal hoping for salt?
I do.
All right, fine. I was thinking that through. I was like, oh, well, actually, no. But what do we, salt is the thing that actually brings out the amazing flavor in everything around us. For me, it's my husband grows amazing, huge tomatoes in the summer, and you put a little bit of fresh salt on that, and it absolutely brings out the best. And I want that to be what PACS is in the community, is that we are an organization that brings out the best in everybody around us. And you look at so many team members, partnerships that we have, and that is my hope for that. And what is light? Light is not often the focal point. It's blinding me at the moment, but light isn't the focal point. Light is something that is illuminating something. And for me, I really hope that PACS is a place that we can be illuminating what the true character of God is, that is caring for people, that is giving people dignity. And so that's where it comes from. That's what I hope to do.
I get to do executive consulting for a few businesses, and oftentimes the culture comes from the head down. If that's been true in places you've worked, just say yes. And what Laura has actually done is she has said, let's get together as a team and come up with that culture that we want to live in. And so they've put a video together because they've spent literally hundreds of hours with the team to come up with what they want their culture to be, what they want you to feel when you enter PACS. So let's watch the video.
We are Portland Adventist Community Services, a faith-based community of volunteers, staff, and donors. We have a food pantry that's on pace to distribute over 2 million pounds of food to over 55,000 hungry people in our community. We run a low-cost thrift store where we intentionally price items lower than others so that everyone can afford to furnish their homes. We operate a safety net dental clinic that provides ongoing dental care to uninsured and underinsured adults for just $25 a visit, no matter how much work they get done. Our mission and our values are what drive all of this to happen. They are why we do what we do, and they guide all the strategic decisions we make as an organization. Following Christ's example,
We nourish the mind, body, and spirit.
while fostering dignity among those we serve.
We treat each other and those we serve like treasure,
Not because they earn it with their actions,
but because who we strive to be.
We prioritize details
So every volunteer, staff,
And customer will be emotionally and physically safe.
understanding that the fear of failure
will prevent the innovation we need to further our mission.
We invest in the future through training and encouraging new ideas.
We engage to create a fun, warm,
an appealing environment for everyone.
The elements of a great experience are greeting.
Cleanliness, ambiance, efficiency, and gratitude.
We are people of all shapes and colors.
Serving people of all shapes and colors.
Обслуживаем людей разных национальностей и цвета кожи. Growth to me is knowing that it's okay to make mistakes, and I feel like we learn a lot through mistakes we make in our life.
I had a very real fear of failure coming into this, and most of all those fears have been eliminated because of the staff and volunteers and their support and prayers.
We don't want to create a space that is only physically safe and not emotionally safe for our people. We've gone through a long process in the last couple of years of trying to create new policies and protocols that are going to keep our customers and our employees and our volunteers all safe. We've also been going through a process where we're teaching each other how to grow emotionally so that we are able to be in conflict with one another, be in work with one another, be in relationship with one another in safe ways that are healthy for everyone.
We want everyone who comes through the door at PACS to feel welcome, to feel the ambiance of warmth from our staff, to feel like they are part of our mission or part of the customers that we serve here.
For me, in my personal experience, I was finding myself at home with a lot of spare time, not really having a purpose to my day. So I tried volunteering and I came, and it was a great feeling. Everybody was so happy to have you and so grateful for any of the effort or any of the work that you put in, whether it's big or small, and they treat you with such dignity that you want to come back. You know, I had an urge to come back. It gave me a lot of purpose.
As a Latina, I find that dignity and inclusion are really closely tied together. I encounter so many folks that don't speak English and are just so grateful that they're able to communicate with someone that understands them. That's a really huge part of providing dignity to those we serve.
The ability to treat everybody as being of dignified value, thinking about how God treats all of us with dignity, even though we don't deserve it, we can do the same thing for others.
I think that for me, one of my favorite things about PACS and working at PACS is the fact that I can talk to a different volunteer every day and hear a completely different backstory of where they've come from. I think that that sort of diversity is crucial for an organization like ours that is trying to go out and serve our community, that can help us make decisions that help everyone and not just the people that look and act like us.
As a volunteer receptionist with PACS, I have a unique opportunity to see the staff firsthand in their true environment. They create an environment for us to blossom, and that's what I love about PACS.
Laura, I've actually worked, I went to the business class at Disney, the greatest place on earth, the happiest place on earth. And they have safety as one of their values. But I was really interested. So what I'd like you to do for the folks is just really list out the values, say a word from you about each value. But when you get to that safety one, you added a fair bit about emotional safety. I'd like you to say a word about that.
Sure. So the first one is dignity, and that is in our mission statement, and that is at the core of who we are, and we want everybody else to feel that basic piece of dignity. And I think if we are trying to serve in the way that I read the gospel that Jesus did, that is what he did. He gave people absolute dignity. And I think the next one, here I am up here blanking, but I'm pretty, safety. Oh, there we go already. Safety, yeah. So, I mean, obviously we want people to be safe and we want people to not be injured at work. I think that goes without saying, but we always talk about the physical safety piece. And I will say, I think it's probably the easier piece to tackle. But being emotionally safe, I guess to me, if we really are going to create a team that wants to stay together, that wants to grow together, that wants to learn together and stretch and be the best that we can be to serve the community in the best capacity that we can, we need to pay attention of how am I coming across? Am I actually coming across the way that I think I am? And that takes effort because in my head, I always come across nice. I always come across clear. Probably if you ask, don't. But if you asked others, that may not have always been their experience. And so I think that was something that we really wanted to strive to complete that circle of learning how do I come across, and is that in a way that the others that I'm dealing with feel dignity.
In fact, let me just say it this way and see if you agree with me. Good people sometimes have bad behavior.
So true.
Is that true? Thank you.
There you go. So true. Growth. Yeah. Again, I'm sure it's just me. But I am not the bravest of souls when I'm trying something new because I want to make sure that it's going to go well. I want to make sure that it becomes the best that it can be. And yet, if we let that fear keep us from striving, then our box will just keep getting a little bit smaller every time. We'll do a little bit less. Whereas if we're trying to push the boundaries and try new things and be the best that we can be for our community, I think we have to create an environment where people feel safe trying something brand new, knowing full well that sometimes it doesn't work. An experience. I love this one. And our executive assistant, Sherry, who was on the video just a minute, talked about it. And she exudes this value. And I want when people walk into PACS, whether they're getting food, whether they are shopping, I want them to feel like they're welcomed and that we are warmly accepting them into our organization in whatever way. Having loaded some of those food boxes, one of the hardest things for me is seeing people that have come to get food boxes for the first time. There is a head-hanging shame that you can see, and I want everything that we do to try to minimize that for people because these are hard times and we want to give people the absolute best experience that they can have because they're worth it. Because if it's a good experience, then they feel like they are worth it, and that's what we want them to feel. And diversity, I loved that video that we could have had a lot of different languages. I loved that we highlighted some of the different languages, and I think that we need to be a reflection of who we serve. And when you look at the demographics, it will say that this is an important piece because if I see myself in somebody that is working in that organization, then I'm going to feel accepted. I'm going to feel like I'm enough. And for me, that is what drives wanting to have that inclusion as part of who we are.
See if you buy this. I think that all of us create culture. If you do it intentionally, you know what it is. If you don't, ask your kids. They'll tell you what it is. And so I want to let's just give a hand to Laura and for her bravery of doing that with culture.
That was not scripted.
I know it wasn't scripted. One thing I wanted to do, though, is give you a number because we just saw how many people that they're serving. A lot, hundreds of thousands of people that they serve. But they also serve in the store, the thrift store. So could you guys throw up the number of items that actually were sold? Look at that number of items sold at the thrift store. Can you believe that? That's outside of what we've already done. That's amazing.
Yeah, and for me, that if people are looking for a way to be involved in PACS, I will tell you that is a huge number, but that's something that we can easily do. We need people to be willing to give their fun stuff to us to find a new life in another family. And so we would love to have you come and bring whatever your treasures are. We would love them because your treasures turn into that number, build the PACS.
And think about it sometimes. Not only bring the stuff you don't want anymore. Maybe bring something that you do like, that somebody else might like, that would really benefit PACS. That's another way of giving, which I'd love you to put on the pie chart now, if you wouldn't mind, because when we talk about giving, and we're talking about that today and tonight, and that's why we're all here, but we'd like you to see a little bit about how this is all working out, and I'm going to try to move out of the way here. And just look at that. You can come down here, Lauren. You can talk to me a little bit here. We actually have church subsidy. Tell us a little bit about what that is.
Sure. We have a constituent church model that a few of our local Adventist churches have bought into what we do as an organization and say, you know what, part of our monthly budget, we want to support what PACS is doing in the community. And so that is where our church subsidy comes from, is that some of our local churches have just on a monthly basis support us, and we are so grateful for that.
And your grants, where do grants come from?
Grants come from different organizations that are willing to invest in our local community, whether they're national organizations or local organizations. We apply for them. It takes effort and it's worth it. And that's one of the big reasons that our dental clinic is doing what it's doing right now with some amazing grants.
So if you happen to be working for a company and maybe you've never thought about going into your CEO and saying, do we donate dollars? Do we donate stuff? Take a look at PACS, because their numbers, which we're going to come up with shortly, the numbers are amazing with PACS. It goes to the people. And so that's just another way that you could give. We also have a large thing. We just saw how much it was for donations. But I know that has changed quite a bit lately. Speak to that just a bit about what the store's done.
Yeah, the store has really taken off, and we are so grateful for that the last few years, because that fuels our mission. That's part of our, lots of different organizations have different operational models, but that's an interesting piece of ours, that yes, we are out getting grants, we need donations, we are grateful for the church subsidies, but also a heavy lift of our finances comes from the thrift store, and the store has just been climbing steadily, and we are grateful for that. Thrifting is really cool. So if you haven't tried it, you should. And I will say, I almost wore it tonight, but I didn't. But I got a really cool Pendleton wool shirt with like the leather pads on the elbows, and I got it for $8, and it is beautiful. So come and thrift. It's fun.
So if you're looking for a new wardrobe, please come on down. Also the donations, and that's just a piece that we're going to talk a little bit about, is the donations. And that comes from you and I. And I think we're going to talk later about the numbers of what actually goes into this. I am a real fan, and from churches where I've worked, we do ministries from our church. I have found in a lot of ways, sometimes it's better to give my money to PACS with the deals they get. So talk just a bit about the donations.
Yeah, so we are standard nonprofit, which is that we'll get about 50% of our donations come in the last quarter of the year. It's because everybody is doing their year-end giving, so thank you. And so donations-wise, we are, I think that's one of the things that we're really proud of is the number that actually goes to either feed people or give them dental care. When you give us $1, we are able to spend 93 cents of that on actually service out that is going out in the community.
I give you $1.
Yeah, you give me $1 and 93 cents of it will actually go out in specific services.
So only 7 cents goes to your staff.
It's true. However, I will say,
Give them a hand for that. If you work with any groups, that is an amazing number because sometimes it can be up to 40 and 50% overhead. So thank you for doing that. And you wanted.
One more thing that I will say about that. It is an incredible testament to the partnerships that we have in the community that we're able to keep that number down, because something else that matters to us as an organization, as Tim and I have been talking operational, is we want to make sure that we are paying people what they're worth. And I think that that is important because I don't want somebody working at PACS because they love it and then barely being able to get by and getting less than they would be getting somewhere else in the in a similar organization in the community. So that's been something that Tim and I actually both chose to focus on. So I am super grateful that that number is low, and I want to make sure that we know that it's not because we are not taking care of our people because we absolutely love them. Yeah. So the reason that we're here, thank you so much again for coming. The reason that we're here is we're trying to fill in that gap and give others an opportunity to come join us in the mission of what we're doing at PACS. Sometimes that looks like volunteering. Sometimes that looks like partnerships. And sometimes that looks like financial partnership with us. And when we were talking as a team about who we wanted to pitch our organization this year at this event, one name came to mind, and it is an organizational friend of ours, Aaron Loans. Please come up and join me. He is one of PAC's favorite people. I will say that. So he is a consultant that has worked with PACS. How long have you worked with PACS? Long?
Yeah, 7 years. Almost.
7 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you got to be. Oh, thank you. Good reminder online. Sorry, guys. So Aaron has worked with PACS for 7 years. I will say that we have really leaned into his expertise the last few years with getting the dental clinic off the ground. He is the founder and the senior partner, is that it? Owner of Loans, principal, there we go, of Loans Management Consulting. And we are grateful for his expertise that he has been willing to lend to our organization. And he talks to me often about PACS. And so I just said, will you share some of the things that you say to me? And that would be, so please welcome our friend Aaron.
Thanks, Laura. And thank you, Greg, for just being an awesome MC. Thanks for having me. I'm really a believer in PACS and the mission. I'll just start by saying, the things you have up here absolutely represent everything I've seen over the last 7 years. I've been working in the nonprofit industry, used to run clinics, a lot of different roles. And, one of the things that I think holds all of this together, which I feel like should be an even bigger airplane, you're talking about the culture of PACS, is integrity. I don't think I've ever seen an organization that both internally and externally walks the walk. I really believe, again, having done this work for a very long time, I've been in it for about 28 years, I really believe that is the tone that Laura continues to set. And I think PACS is really poised for something big. I think this dental clinic, you see the growth in the food pantry, the fact that you've got a board that's asking really great questions. We did a survey recently with Laura's leadership. Tim was a big part of it. Where we actually, it was your dad, right, that did the public health guy. I haven't had a chance to meet you. Would like to meet you today if possible. But public health guy, he was out there as a volunteer asking questions, really well put together questions, I thought, about, well, what is your choice? How would you like to eat? What are the things we can put in this food box? Would you rather that we just bring it to the curb and hand it to you, or would you rather come inside and actually shop yourself? And I think it was like 160 surveys, something like that. We were looking at demographics. We looked at the diversity of individuals, the age breakout. I mean, it was amazing. You had mostly seniors in the community that were coming, shopping for their families, moms. I mean, it was amazing. So just that alone, huge service for the community. But then you had the board. I'm standing there in a board meeting, and I'm being grilled about, well, what can we ask next? What can we get to next? What's the next thing that we really can do? Back to this whole thing of integrity, of asking the right questions, being consistent with what's internal and external, and making sure people have dignity and a good experience through that process. So like I said, I think that the clinic I said clinic because the dental clinic, but the whole organization really is poised to take off. I just think, there's been so much growth, but we talk about this Malcolm Gladwell book, The Tipping Point. If you get a chance to pick it up, if you haven't read it already, I think this organization. I've been working with you for 7 years. Laura's leadership, this board, wonderful board. People like Greg, just poised to really do even more in the community. So I'm just a huge fan, as you can tell. Very proud of just the work that's being done here, and looking forward to what's going to come in the future. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aaron. And thanks for what you bring to the table. Your expertise is invaluable to them. It's amazing. There's another piece that tonight we can't go without. And I don't know if you have the slide of the folks who have donated hours. Do you have that back there? Okay. There's some stuff in the handout I think that you'll have, but I was just looking at the list of hours of people that actually volunteer at this place, that give their life blood. There's at least 1 or 2 people on the list, and you'll see that list. I do think they have it for you. But on that list, you will see one person who's given literally 5 years, 40 hours a week of their life to PACS. So can we just give them a hand? And another part of the culture that Laura and Tim are trying to instill is saying thank you to folks. And so that's a part of what we really need to do right now, is say thank you to some folks, Laura.
Yeah, we have, I think you're talking about Dwayne. Yeah, he is one of our higher volunteers. We have 2 awards that we give every year. It is so hard to pick out of on any given month. We have anywhere between, I think it was last month, I want to say it was 287. I might be making that up, but it's close, I promise. Individual volunteers that come and help in a month that make things happen. And talk about hard work is picking which ones you're going to choose for your awards for each year. But this year, for our Director's Award, the Director's Award is something that we have given to a volunteer that has really taken one specific area of the organization and invested themselves, invested who they are, and made a difference in that area. And as you've kind of heard through the rest of the program, that our dental clinic has really taken some strong strides forward this year, and we are so grateful for that. And so because of that, the volunteer that we chose to win the Director's Award this year is one of our volunteer dentists, and his name is Dr. Harry Chambers. Unfortunately, he cannot be with us today. He is off traveling in some amazing places, and he had that scheduled before we told him that he won the award. So what we did was we did do a little in-person award in the clinic. So we will show you that video now, just talking about the Director's Award and that winner, and that is Dr. Harry Chambers.
Dr. Chambers' commitment to Gateway Grace Dental Clinic has been crucial in successfully launching the Gateway Grace Dental Clinic.
Dr. Chambers has continued to be here week after week and has been the sole provider for many of those weeks.
So it takes a lot of moving parts in order for this clinic to become a success. But the most important piece is having a dentist who will show up and do the work and see our patients for us. And that is the role that Dr. Chambers has filled for us.
You know, a dental clinic is only a building unless you actually have a dentist who is there. And Dr. Chambers has been a significant part of that security over the last year.
He is dependable. He drives all the way from Hillsborough to spend time with us and our patients. One of the things that I personally love about Dr. Chambers is he's always sharing fun, wonderful recipes with me that I can enjoy and make at home.
So Dr. Chambers, I just want to say thank you to you for showing up on a weekly basis and partnering with us as not only we're doing dentistry, but we're giving people the opportunity to experience Christ.
So thank you, Dr. Chambers, for being a part of PACS and for giving of your time and your talents and your compassion to these people who are desperately needing your care.
Thank you, Dr. Chambers, for everything you have given to Gateway Grace Clinic and to our community.
But without Dr. Chambers, it's hard to imagine how we could have started providing services during this past year. So thanks again, Dr. Chambers. We really appreciate all that you've done for us in the dental department.
Dr. Chambers, we wanted to show you our appreciation for your continued input here at the clinic. You have given us time and continuity, and we are so grateful. I really genuinely believe that your commitment to this clinic is one of the reasons why it is.
You know, years ago, we had a vision for a clinic like this one to establish a first-class dental experience for those who needed it most. We've had so many people donate time, money, resources, and all of those things, but we knew from the beginning that that vision would depend on dentists who would be willing to give their time to show up consistently to give our patients the care that they deserve. So on behalf of the PACS board, I just want to express our appreciation and say thank you for all that you have given to this organization and to this community and to the people that we serve.
All right, and we have one other award that we give every year, and that is the Barbara Nilsson Excellence Award. And this award is given to somebody who has gone above and beyond, and actually there's a winner standing right here and another winner sitting right here. We are so grateful for those that have invested in us and used their expertise and just their passion for helping others, and taken PACS as an entire organization really to the next level because of their commitment. So I'll let you watch the video and see who our winner is. Thanks.
We are really lucky here at PACS to have the immense wisdom and gifting of Jonathan Russell.
It's hard to describe the profound impact Jonathan has had on this organization and on my leadership journey here at PACS.
Jonathan Russell has been a very significant part of PACS for quite a while. And one of the things that I have appreciated about Jonathan is not only is he a board member, somebody who comes and meets quarterly with the board to make decisions and to hear reports, but he likes being a part of PACS so much that he has actually come and been a volunteer that's actually on site here giving away food.
When he has come every Friday for the last several years, bringing his family and modeling what it is to serve and be boots on the ground for our community here at PACS.
As board chair, he has been generous with his time, giving feedback on operational plans. He talks through the possible impacts of actions, and he's willing to pitch in any capacity that we need him.
He has always gone above and beyond and given so much more time and effort and expertise to us than we would have ever felt comfortable asking for.
His expertise in media has been the reason that we were able to create successful online fundraisers the last few years during COVID.
I've gotten to do several of our annual fundraisers with him helping in multiple ways, whether it be him just giving tons of time and giving us the use of his team and the resources that they had available to them.
Just thank Jonathan so much for being a part of PACS and for contributing himself to the service of others through PACS.
There is not many areas of this organization where Jonathan's fingerprints can't be found, and we are so grateful. His deep commitment to PACS will have a lasting impact, not just now, but for years to come.
Usually it is the board chair who calls organization. And I mean, I think that sitting here tonight together, we see that. And it has been an honor so far to be able to be a part of the PACS journey. And I'm looking forward. I have to agree with Aaron. There is this thing called a tipping point. And I am so excited to see what God wants to do with this organization as we cross that tipping point. And so thank you. Thank you to the team. You know, I am just so grateful to be a little tiny part of what you all are doing in the Portland area. Thank you very much.
Can I say something else really quick? I think we also need to say a huge thank you to Jonathan's team that has been working in the back here. I mean, having an LED wall, like that's kind of cool. So thank you to his team, their audio visual team. They're streaming it for us. Thank you so much, all of you that are blinded by the light, but we are genuinely grateful.
I also would just like to have you throw that pie chart back up here with the 0.93, if you wouldn't mind putting the 0.93, 93 cents out of every dollar. It's going to come. I'm sure it's coming. Can you visualize up there with me? There you go. There it is. 93 cents of every dollar. I just wanted to remind you that. Thank you for coming and being a part of this. And I want to say a big thank you to you, Laura, and to all of your team for making that 93 cents. Talk about integrity, Aaron. I buy that 100%. Thank you for making it and working hard. And by the way, they did that 93 cents for every dollar given to the public with bringing the wage scales up to where they need to be so that people can actually survive. Give them a hand for doing that. So thank you, Laura. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this and for this journey.
Thanks for being up here with me tonight, Gary. And I guess I just want to say to each of you, on behalf of PACS, on behalf of the board, the volunteers, and the staff, Thank you so much for joining with us. If you saw things that you are wanting to join us in this journey in your generosity, we would be so grateful for it. And we are so grateful for what you have done already. Thank you so much. And thank you on behalf of all of us. It is absolutely our pleasure and our honor to serve the community. And thanks for doing that with us. Have a good night. Oh, we do have gifts and drawings, which I don't know how this is happening, so I hope somebody else does. I can make it up, but I'm not sure that will be the best serve. Well, I can't. I won't ask a question that I can't see anybody answering anyways. Is there any that are live streaming? So should we keep that on, or is that a thing? Oh, there is one live streaming. All right. So we had so many partners tonight that helped make this happen. I hope you saw some of their signs and logos around. Oh, hey, Tim says he knows how stuff is working. This is the best news I've heard. All right, what are we doing? Okay, so I heard there was a competition in box packing. Are we ready for that one? Oh, fly fishing. Did any of you try the fly fishing one? I did not. If you have not been, or if you have not seen, we have a little, what kind of building is it? A-frame on the side of our property, and Jack is the owner of Northwest Fly Fishing and Fly Outfitters. There you go. And he had a competition out there, and what is this? Can you talk about it? Are you more intelligent than me?
No, not in this arena. But I know that this is a great prize for somebody who's into fly fishing.
All right.
And there were a couple of people who are actually brave enough to put their name in for the drawing. And as we drew the name that was the winner is Elizabeth Darrow.
Nice. Perfect. Oh, it looks like Everett is coming up to get it. There you go. Nice job. That means he has some sort of aim in fly fishing. I have no such aim, I assure you. All right. All right, do you want to talk about it?
So how many of you participated in the box packing competition? Are you ready to come help me on an everyday basis? I need a few more volunteers, this is because that shopping list that you were working off of is pretty identical to what we put into a box every day for every family that comes through line. So I know that the kids that have worked for me in the food pantry have done their share of timing themselves to figure out how fast they can get it done. You guys need some work. So all I'm saying is you need to come practice. Practice makes it better. But we do have, we'll start with the youth one.
And this is?
So the best time for the youth, so under 12, was 3 minutes and 1 second. And the prize is?
It is four Oaks Park wristbands. So that means that it's like unlimited. So Oaks Park, four rides for our number one box packer. And who is that?
Beckham on. Beckham here. All right.
Well done.
Good job. You should come join the team.
All right, and the prize for the
13 plus.
13 plus. That's a way better word than I was going to use. Okay, is 4 suite level tickets for the Trailblazers, and they are given to us by Pacific Office Automation. You can see their logo up there. We are so grateful for what they are willing to help us with, and that goes to, or what was the time?
So the time was 1 minute, 47 seconds, and 49 100ths. Exactly. And that goes to Sebastian Mondaka. Is Sebastian here still? Yeah. All right, you're experienced now. You can come and join me.
I plan on volunteering and breaking my own record.
There you go.
Thank you. Okay.
What else do we have?
Okay, so I can put that away. Okay, we have drawing. So we have 3 things here that we're going to draw for the prize, door prize. So if you have your tickets.
Okay, here's what the ticket looks like.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, I was just
You're
showing
drawing.
him. Oh, I was just showing him what it looks like.
Well, they might have been the winner.
Sorry.
You get to draw another one.
Okay.
What's the number? 302048. And this is for the Glendiver Golf.
A round of golf at Glendiver Golf.
Anyone with 048 on their ticket?
I don't think I got a ticket, but I don't think I can win anyways. So. All right.
Yeah. All right. No, going once,
Gary,
going
you get to pick
twice.
the next one. Maybe you'll have better luck.
Okay, try a different one. It also starts with 302055. Anybody moving? It's hard. Are there blue prizes?
Okay, good.
We're going to keep doing it.
Okay, sooner or later we'll get someone. How about 081? 081? Oh, all right. Come on up. Dr. Sharon Myron, who is here joining us as a running for city commissioner. So thank you very much for being here. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yes. So this is tickets for Bullwinkles and the Enchanted Forest. 068.
You know, we're gonna have to scream and holler.
We can't see much up here, so. All right. Is that Ali coming up? All right. Oh, yes. Ali is one of our amazing volunteers. If you like to read, Ali has taken over most of the organization of the book room at PACS, and we have quite an extensive used bookstore there. So if there's a special book you're looking for, yeah, she's the one who will find it for you.
All right.
One more drawing one. This is for a handbag and for the Bob's Red Mill collection of goodies that came from Bob's Red Mill. 063. So close. Oh, somebody standing up? All right. You get the whole basket. That was the one we were going to do online. I don't know how that was going to work online.
I don't think we did it. So let's just pick another one.
Okay,
Here we go.
we're doing another one.
So tell them what it is.
So this is Portland Japanese Garden and McMiniman's gift card. 074. Oh, the suspense is amazing. Oh, we get somebody? Oh, it's all right. Thank you very much. I think that is all of the prizes.
All right, so now you can actually, thank you so much for joining us tonight. If and I hope you take something away.